Hi, this is Michael McArdle from New York Health and Racket Club on the roof of my building, giving you a 15-minute yoga workout. So we're going to start by lifting the right leg up, taking the left arm forward to see how I pull the right arm back, and then I basically air run. So what I'm going to do now is pull the leg back, arm forward, and now I move in opposition, trying to stay tall and not tipping forward, although that is an interesting version. I think you'll get more core work if you stay tall. We're going to do this for about 30 seconds. And I am breathing, even if you can't really see it. You can go faster or slower or alternate, as I'm doing right here. Faster makes it tougher, as you'll see. So in a moment, I'm going to slow down, find stillness. I'm going to step the right leg back. That's the one I wasn't standing on. I'm going to take some side stretches. So from here, finding my foot position, I can go heel to heel and make it really difficult, or step the front foot a little wider so it's easier to balance. I'm going to lean over to the left first. It doesn't really matter because we're going to switch sides. So this is going to stretch my back, right leg, right waist, that whole right line. Can make it harder if I interlace to a fist and drive that fist away. It makes it harder because it's a longer lever and it's more weight. Now I'm going to take it to the other side. And the same applies here. I'm going to make it harder, make a fist. Good, and keeping my belly, drawing in there, trying to keep the hip bones forward. Now I'm going to prepare for Warrior 3. I like to do the fist position. I take this to my sacral ridge, right about my belt line. But you could do it with flat palms if you prefer. Moving into a Warrior 3. Breathing, scrubbing that hand position down towards the mat and back towards my right leg that's in the air. Trying to square off the hips. Don't worry about straightening the standing leg. Keep the right leg that's in the air real straight and locked. Transition here to Warrior 2. I'm going to step back, a cartwheel in my arms. Find Warrior 2 just for a moment, and then I go right into Reverse Warrior 2. I'm going to push my right hand into my back leg. And my back leg is going to isometrically push back against the effort of the hand, so I get a really strong seal on my back pinky toe, and I get a really strong back leg, which gives me a better stretch in the front leg, better for my back hip. And then maybe you can bend a little deeper into the front leg. And check out the view. Brooklyn, baby. And come back to center, transition to triangle. So I'm going to have a slight bend in my front leg for this transition. And I'm going to use that bend so it's easier for me to pull my left outer hip back. And I'm going to come just halfway into triangle. Drop the bottom arm. Push that bottom arm into the bottom leg. And then just like before with the back leg, the hand pushes into the leg pushes back. You get a strong, solid front leg. And then try to get the bottom hand a little deeper, a little closer towards the floor. And then I stretch through both arms. And it looks more like a traditional triangle. I could straighten the front leg or keep it bent if you want to. There's no harm in occasionally bending that front leg. I'm going to transition to extended side angle. Same applies to that front left hip. I'm trying to wrap that outer left hip back. I'm showing you with my hand here. Coming forward and up. Lots of different places to look with your head as you see me toggling through the options, center, up or down. See what feels best for your neck. Now I'm going to transition to parallel feet. Parallel the feet in. Get my pelvis underneath me. Interlace my hands to a fist. Drive up to the sky, literally to the sky. And maybe add a little back bend there if it's okay for your lower back. Take a couple breaths. Interlace my hands to the base of my skull, right at the occipital ridge where your hairline starts. I'm going to bend my knees and slowly fold in. I'm taking my time. I'm letting you shake my head there so you can see that I'm letting my head go. Making sure my feet don't collapse. You can keep your hands where they are. I was just showing you that. And then I'm going to fold in. You can keep your legs bent, or if you want a little more hamstring and groin, you can start to straighten your legs. I'm still dropping my head down. I'm letting the weight of my hands help release and get a stretch through the back line of my neck. Take a couple breaths here. Then I walk my hands out about a foot, tent the fingers, pull back the hands and wrap the outer arms in so you kind of see more tricep happening there. And then trying to find some up dog in the chest. You can keep your hands there and flick them back as you see me come up here. or you can walk them in if that's a little too weird for you. Now I'm going to bend my right back leg. I'm bouncing to try to get the rhythm here. You don't have to bounce. Just make sure you're not tipping forward or back. Stay vertical, which is a sign that you're using your core well. Then I step my feet together. Then I get one more stretch. I take that right arm up. I lean towards the front of the mat. And as I do that, I'm going to turn my feet to face forward to get ready for the other side. And just one little extra stretch there. Okay, now I'm ready for the other side. Now, the left leg comes up. The right arm, opposite arm comes forward. Other arm pulls back a little bit. And I basically run in the air. I start out slow, keep my focus, keep my breath. Then we're here for about 30 seconds. You might alternate speeds. Going faster does make it tougher. It really makes you use your core and find the balance on your standing foot. All good things. But as in life, all good things must come to an end. So we're going to slow this down. And we have our transition coming up in a few moments. Almost falling there. I feel like I'm narrating a wildlife video. Okay, then I'm slowing down. I step that leg that's in the air back about 3 to 4 feet. Whoa. And that's me heel to heel, so it's a tougher balance. So I might move my front foot, which I'm doing, a little bit more to the right, so I have a wider base. I'm taking it over to the right first, but remember, it doesn't matter. I'm going to switch sides. One arm or the more challenging 2-arm version. Core is engaged, trying to keep the hip bones facing forward. Going to the other side. Demonstrating keeping the hip bones facing forward, which is a challenge. Again, it's easier with wider feet. Come back to center, transition to warrior 3 again now. Either fists or palms. They go to the ridge of your sacrum, and you're pushing down and back. Look at me, exhorting you. Pushing down and back towards the foot that's in the air. The standing leg does not need to be straight, but I'd love you to try to straighten that leg that's in the air. Breathing for a few more breaths. We have a warrior 2 transition coming up in a moment. Here I go, getting ready to cartwheel back to warrior 2. Then right into reverse warrior 2. And you can see from the other angle here, I'm pushing my back left hand into my back left leg. I'm slapping so you can see it. I'm really pushing. I have a little bend in the elbow because it feels nice for my shoulder. And as I push down that hand, I keep moving my hand around, but you get the idea. The leg pushes back, gives you a nice seal on the back left foot, a better stretch in the front right rib. It might allow you to steer the front right leg right over the ankle so you have better knee tracking. I'm going to straighten, get ready for triangle. Same hips. I'm going to take my hand back here and show you what pushing into the back of your sacrum feels like on this side. Kind of the same thing we did for warrior 3, but with one hand. I drop my bottom arm. My front leg has a little bend. And now I might try to slide the hand a little further, but don't go crazy here. And don't let your hips shift. So in this one, I'm using my hand to keep my sacrum down. The other side, I didn't do that. I'm going to show you this other option. Now, once I get about as low as I can, I'm slapping my leg there to show you that you're pushing your arm into your leg. It's also a nice stabilizing workout for that right bottom shoulder. Then my bottom arm pushing down, my top arm reaching up. I might straighten the front leg, and you can see me saying to push your hips towards those bushes. None of them are burning. Then into extended side angle, you see me scrubbing the top right gluteal flesh back. It's the same thing that we're doing in triangle and reverse warrior 2 for that matter. Just giving you a sort of visual of what that looks like. It's almost like you're pulling that front foot back in space, but without collapsing in the back left arch. Cartwheeling up, paralleling the feet. You get the back view here. I'm going to drive up, maybe interlace the opposite finger, or instead of just going straight up to the sky, I might go back bend here. Then here I go, interlacing behind the head. You can see reverse here, folding in. I bend my knees a little here. You could keep the leg straight there. It's a little tougher on your back though. And then try to lift those sit bones up as I fold in, and I'm getting as low as I can. And yep, I'm showing you to make sure the feet don't collapse, especially the arches. And then I'm hanging in there, and then I try to straighten the legs. I'm pulling my navel up into my spine so I have some nice control. Then my arms come out, letting myself move forward, and then I bend the knees again, wrap the arms in. I'm kind of showing you that with my hands. And then I up dog in the chest, spreading the collarbones, almost dragging the hands back. That's me showing you bent or straight legs. And then I try to, from here, flick the hands back, or you can walk them in like I just showed. Flick. I like that little flicking game. You're gonna come on up. Take a breath. Bending that left leg. Down. Ooh, a little disco dance there. Look at that view. Oh, the Brooklyn Bridge. Finally, you get to see it. Sorry, Manhattan. And stepping together. One more stretch. Then I shuffle my feet forward, so I'm squared off. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Come back to center. And then we have one little finishing touch here to make it more of a sort of traditional vinyasa. I'm going to do a little sun salutation. Follow along. Swan diving in. Preparing, you can either step or jump back, which I'm going to do, into chaturanga, halfway down with bent elbows. Coming into up dog, or you can go to baby cobra and have a little more bend in the elbows. Then I'm going to lower myself down. Down, down, down. And then I'm going to try to float the arms out without a precipitous collapse there. My shoulders are tight, so I'm not getting the arms up too high, but I'm trying to lift that chest up. Lengthening through the legs, even though the legs are down. I'm not thrusting my head up to lift into hyperextension in the neck. I'm trying to lift the chest up more than the head or chin. Then I tent my fingers, and I'm at a right angle with the arms, as you can see. So they're slightly forward of the mat. I'm going to come up into more of a full cobra, lifting through the chest, wrapping the arms in. If you need to bend the elbows a little, you can, especially if you're feeling it in your back. Lengthening through my toes, especially the big toes. Not throwing that head back. Then I'm going to try to lower down with control in a moment. Slide the hands back. Let the head release for a moment. So I have that right angle with the arms, elbows right above the wrist. Shoulders wrap in, set up. I go back into up dog if you can handle it. Then I lift my hips up, still on the tops of my feet if you can, rounding through your back and pulling up your stomach and wrapping the arms in, then getting as high as I can with my hips, still on the tops of the feet. Now, this isn't for everyone. You can certainly abort, but I flip over my toes simultaneously into dorsiflexion. You can skip that last part if that's too challenging. So from here, I'm already set up for a nice cow. Take a big inhale, and then I drop my head. Cat, big exhale. Neutral. And then a little bit of right, left, left, right. So it doesn't matter which side you start on. We're alternating arms, trying to find length. And I am focusing on exhales when I extend and reach out. And then just a quick inhale when I come back down. So the exhale is kind of, and the inhale is kind of, so you focus on the long exhales as you reach, and just a quick reset, inhale when you land. And that could lend itself to a little bit of heat or breath of fire if you really wanted to go for it. I just noticed I snapped my knee a little bit too much there. So you want to make sure you don't snap the knee. Just a couple more moments of this. I sit back into child's pose with really wide knees. I'm going to drop my head. Now, if you want to, you can stick your thumbs up like you're hitchhiking, and then get them right into the eyebrow ridge and kind of slide the thumbs out. I'm still kind of sitting back, but I'm also now multitasking. I'm sliding my thumbs around my eyebrow ridge and then getting into the temples. I'm just kind of showing you coming out of it, but you could just lay down there and keep your head there. And I'm going to take one more little twist to each side just to open up. And you could take a little longer with this if you want. So I'm just showing you one time so we keep this under 15 minutes. Now from here, if you have a little extra time, we're kind of at the 15-minute mark. You'd sit there like this if it doesn't bother your knees, and take a few moments there to breathe and be still. Or you can sit like this. It feels better. You can also sit on a block or have your legs out in front of you. So I burned about 135 calories in that 15 minutes. You could do 2, 3, 4 sets, and then, you do the math. You can burn a lot more calories, and you can do a few sets of those. So this could be an hour long if you want to do it 3 times. And anyway, my lips aren't matching what I'm saying, but I mean it. Thanks for stopping by on my roof in Brooklyn. This is Michael McArdle for New York Health and Racket. Thanks for coming by.